Hello, it's Craig here, reporting. No, I'm joking. Yeah, but I hadn't said much for a while because haven't really been doing much in the big city regarding the crabbing. Because obviously we don't have a sea here. We've got that Thames, but ain't the sea. But anyway, I'll be honest with you. I've been fucking glued to the telly, looking at all these current affairs. I've got the Fox News they call it, that I've been watching late at night. Now, I ain't sure if you've been keeping up to date with all this, as I do believe that's BBC Look East and the bottom reading, so I don't think the Fox News gets there. So I thought I'd keep you up to date with what's been happening over the last few fucking months. One thing that's stuck out in my mind particularly is that little Carlos Tevez, that little Argentinian boy with a bulldog-like approach. He refused to come on against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, I believe. However, I feel that could be a little game of Chinese whispers, because he say one thing, his manager Mancini say another. Anyway, I can kind of see his end of the stick, because the thing is, as you see, there's a player that when I was playing, when I was a wing half, a player called old Blinker Gross, they called him. Anyway, it got to the Benevolent Cup semi-final, and we signed this new lad. He was one of them. He was a flashy fucker. He used to have these shiny gold boots, and he had all the skills in the world, but he didn't have much bottle. But he was what we call a flash Dan. Anyway, me and old Blinker Groisey went to the West Runton Social Club. We used to listen to the bands there. It was quite a good venue back in the day, back in like the 60s, 70s. Not so much now, but back then that was the place to be for all the young uns. Anyway, being the model pro that we were, we had a couple of Nuki Browns and half an Adams. I thought, call it a night. And went across the dance floor, there was Flash Dan chatting up fucking old Grossy's sister. We thought, fucking hell, what's happened here? It ain't right, you know, fucking messing with fire. He's playing with his fucking fire. Anyway, me and old Grossy left anyway, and went back to our respective houses, when all of a sudden the postman came round the next morning and told old Grossy that apparently Flashdown had been playing Guess What's Below My Waist with his sister. Which is all very well, except when me and old Grossy turned up at the training ground before the game to do the preparation, Flashdown was showing everyone his fingers, putting them to people's noses and making them sniff them. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, Tevez ain't right for not coming on, but you never know, Mancini might have fingered his sister. So anyway, old Grossy didn't play that game. He was so upset by Flashdown's actions that I let him 20p, called his dad to come and pick him up. Which brings me to my next topic that I've been looking at in the news, which is phone hacking. Now I know it ain't the same, but I once heard my Uncle Gavin talk about how he'd once been lurking round the corner, and he heard old, what we call him now, Molesty Westy, talking about how he tricked his wife into staying with him. Basically what happened, their relationship was on the rocks, and he thought, well, I can't lose this one, I know he lost to me. So he's like, right. He went down the shop, bought some nicotine patches, and when his wife was asleep, he used to put them on his wife's arm before he went to bed, and he'd set his alarm 20 minutes before she woke up, and he'd take them off, do that for weeks on end. Then one day his wife decided she wanted to leave him, so she said, bye, see ya, ta-da, and about 3 days later, she started getting weird cravings. I thought, fuck, I fucking spit ourselves that something's missing. So anyway, old Molesty Westy thought, right, here's my time to strike, the iron's fucking hot, it's fucking boiling. So he bought her a few drinks in the pub when he saw her out with the fucking Red Lion, and said, look, let's just go back and talk. So he'd obviously popped a sleeping pill in her drink, took her back to his house, and hey pesto, pulled out a fucking nicotine patch, popped it on her arm. She woke up the next day, and she's like, fucking hell, I feel so much better about everything. So that's a version of phone hacking that I can relate to back in the day of Molesty Westy. Essentially making his wife, who's going to leave him, addicted to him. And that brings me to my third and final point about the current affairs that I've been looking at in relation to phone hacking. I'm talking about new technology. I don't know about you, but I remember when the internet was in black and white, Back in the days where cheeseburgers were a penny. In the day you can change up 5 shillings for a halfpenny, and you get 10 pints of Foster's for 20p. I remember those days. Anyway, after a recent survey, I've seen that 95% of the people only use the internet for porn anyway. And back in the day when I was growing up, we used to make our own porn. Not in the Ron Jeremy style, but me and old Joyful and a little weird boy called Stephen Weber used to hang around with us because his mum didn't look after him properly, so we fucking took him under our wing. We used to sit down, get our paintbrushes and pencils out, and I'd say, I want to see lesbians. And Stephen's quite an artist. He used to draw a couple of lesbians, and we used to make a little theatre out of it, like a Punch and Judy style theatre, and he used to stick them up there, and he used to, first to finish wins. Used to do all sorts of things like that. You see, the beauty of that is that your imagination's unlimited. You can pretty much draw anything you can ever imagine. Like if you wanted 3 Germans raping a Slovakian cow, then that's fine, you can do that. Obviously you need the artistic skill to be able to do that, which luckily for us Stephen Weber had. He could draw anything. The only thing he couldn't get quite right was a cat's face, which didn't matter too much. They didn't pop up as much, but when it did, that was disappointing. I remember one time little Stephen Weber got his sketchbooks mixed up with his sister's, and he instead of bringing us a lot of porn images that he prepared for us, he'd actually bought us a sketchbook full of flowers. I think, unfortunately for his sister, she picked up his book and didn't get the grade she expected. Anyway, that's my little take on the last few months. Every few weeks I've got to be updating my stuff and talking about what I've been listening to and what I've been hearing. But before I leave, I've got to say one more thing. Have a fucking lovely Christmas.